All right, guys. Fresh Tracks, episode 58. You got Mike P today. Randy and Marcus are in a meeting in the studio. So also, we got a different landscape this week for Fresh Tracks Weekly. But I'm happy to have you, and I kind of have a couple news articles I want to talk about, some news segments, and then we'll get right into a deeper dive. So without further ado, let's just talk about what's been going on around the office. This week, Randy got into Mountain Tough. Mountain Tough is a fitness app. It's a really cool program that you don't need a lot of equipment. You can just download the app. You can use it at your home, but their fitness lab is just across the street. So they're working with Randy to do a fitness program to get him ready for his big sheep hunt coming up this August or September. It's either in August or September. I'm not sure, but it's in the McKenzie Mountain Range. If you don't know about the McKenzie Mountain Range, Google it. It's some steep country, rugged, and Randy's getting prepared for that hunt. And then also, all of us in the office yesterday did a workout over there as well, and it sounds like it's something that we're going to continue to do in the future. Sounds like we'll do it daily almost. So pretty excited about that. I am sore today. I got my butt kicked yesterday. Marcus just got back from Alaska, where he was hunting with his brother, his father, and a family friend. They were out deer hunting, and it sounded like the deer hunting was pretty tough, but they were also able to go duck hunting. That looked like it was a ton of fun, and he immediately came back, got in at like midnight one night, and then was in the office grabbing camera gear the next day, heading to Wyoming for a late season rifle elk hunt. It's a pretty unique hunt. It sounded like they had some success finding bulls, nothing that really got him super excited, but they did find a bull. He passed on it, and another hunter decided to go up and shoot it, and they helped him pack it out. Kara and Marcus did. And just cool, helping each other out, helping other hunters out. That's the way it should be. But yeah, that's kind of what Marcus has been up to. I know he's going to be going back to that unit. It's open for a bit longer, and he's going to go back once there's some weather on the ground. For fishing, I finally got to go out and do some fishing. So I'm on day 148 this year. I was able to go to a fun spot, take the jet boat out with Cassie. Unlike the deer hunt, the boat was running really well, and we were able to catch some fish, and it was just really fun to be able to take advantage of some of these warmer days that we've kind of had out here in the West, especially in Montana. We haven't gotten hardly any snow or cold weather this year. So it was fun to be able to go out and fish in mid to late December and have it be 50 degrees and, not needing too many layers to go out and fish. So while we're on the topic of fishing, I got a couple news segments for you guys before the deep dive. They're kind of just, hey, this is happening, and what do you guys think about it? So while we're on the topic of fishing, the first news segment I have has a little bit to do with fishing, is that the U.S. government plans to spend more than $1 billion over the next decade to help recover depleted populations of salmon in the Pacific Northwest. So while the administration did stop short of saying like they're going to remove the lower four Snake River dams, many people believe that this is the roadmap to that happening. So just a little background about the Columbia River Basin. It's a huge area. It's roughly the size of Texas. And at one point, there were 16 different stocks of salmon species and steelhead. And now there's 4 that are completely extinct, and 7 that are listed on the Endangered Species Act. So while one side is concerned about the impact this might have on energy, irrigation, navigation, the other side believes that with this money, there will be better alternatives to navigation, irrigation. It's definitely a polarizing topic. If you got any thoughts on it, leave them in the comments below. So, last one, and unless you've been living in a den, pun intended, you probably have heard that Colorado released 5 wolves this past week. So I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. This is like a classic like ballot box biology. It's going to be on the ground. So we'll see what happens over the next few years. I'd love to hear I'd love to hear some comments about what everybody thinks about it. It's obvious, again, it's a polarizing topic and something that we've covered over Fresh Tracks Weeklies, in the past, and now it's happened. So what does everybody think? Let me know down below. And for the deeper dive this week, we got Randy, myself, Jace, and Kyler. And we're kind of talking about the 2023 season, some ups, some downs, what we learned, some funny moments, and kind of some goals for 2024. So thanks for having me. Thanks for watching. And I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year. We'll see you at the beginning of 2024. Thanks for having me. Later.
Hey, Michael, if I got you a Yamaha hat, would you wear it?
I guess, since I own a Yamaha motor, I do support their.
What if I got you a Humminbird?
Test.
I wear that too.
A Minn Kota hat.
Yeah, I use all that stuff, so I feel good about it.
But you're kind of our hat collector.
I am. If you want to work in the hunting industry, you get paid in hats. So
and T-shirts.
Yeah. Fresh Tracks, episode 57. Here we are in the office.
Fresh Tracks Weekly.
Fresh Tracks Weekly, episode 57.
Yeah.
No, it's 58.
Last week was 57.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal, guys. Marcus isn't here. He's coming home from Alaska today, right?
Yeah.
And tomorrow he's heading to Wyoming. Have we seen him at all this year? He's had a sheep tag. He had
in December.
He's been gone since August. It is now December 15th.
Well, Fresh Tracks Weekly has probably been in the crapper without him, but we're going to give it our best effort. Last week, Jace, you and I did it down in Arizona.
Yeah, Kyler was with us too.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
He was there. We were there a little longer, but yeah, we were all there together.
And that was a pretty intense session of Fresh Tracks Weekly.
Yeah.
It was good, though.
You think so?
Yeah, I like that stuff.
Yeah.
I like seeing you get fired up.
Well, there's a time to get fired up, and there's the time to kind of, push on the wheel and move it forward. But there's also the time where we got to enjoy what we got here.
Yeah.
And things that we do and, the opportunities that exist. So I thought rather than me laying down a bunch of heavy pressure on everybody for the final episode of Fresh Tracks Weekly this year, we'd go around, and I wrote on the board, you guys probably can't read my chicken scratch here, but for 2023, what was your memory? What'd you learn or accomplish or fail at? It can be any or all of the above.
Yeah, cool.
And then we'll go around and we'll do 2024.
Next year? Or 2024 next year?
Okay. No, what's your goal, 2024? What's your goals, your commitments?
Oh, I got
your plans, your dreams.
I got you.
Whatever.
Okay.
I dig it.
So,
who wants to go first? Jace?
Michael start us out.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
All right. So, I think, if you guys watched your content this year, my biggest memory was going with you and Randy and Marcus going to the Yukon. That's just a special trip. That's something that I don't think I'll ever go back on a trip like that. And it was so much fun spending time with you two, and then also hanging out with, we don't do guided hunts on the show ever, really. I mean, we have a couple times, but it was cool to hang out with some dudes that do that all the time and learn from them and get their perspective on things. It's pretty intense, their life. So making new friends, going up there, that was a great time. I'm trying to think what I learned this year is time spent in the field is special. I didn't get to go as much as I like this year due to being 30 and having too many friends and my sister getting married. And if you guys watched some of our Fresh Tracks Weekly, you've heard me kind of complaining about it all year. And so I didn't get out in the field as much as I wanted to. So I learned that time is precious. I got to the end of the season, I was I hardly even hunted this year for myself. And it's nice, obviously working for you, Randy, and going out with the boys and filming them. You're out there, and I got time in the field, but I didn't get as much time in the field as I'd like personally. So that kind of goes into my goal for 2024 is to hunt more and plans for that, I don't know. I'd love to, like, I had so much fun on our jet boat hunt. I want to definitely do that again, whether we film that or not. My girlfriend Cassie has expressed some interest in getting into hunting next year. So I would love to go. Like, she loves to fish, and like going out on the boat it would just be an awesome time. So I think plans for 2024 is doing that. I have some points in Wyoming. I have some points in Colorado that I may want to burn. I think that my biggest fail this year was that pronghorn hunt we went on. That was a rough one. And I definitely learned a lot from that too.
But it's archery pronghorn.
Yeah.
Well, it's really hard to say that archery pronghorn is a fail.
Yeah.
You're, especially with a camera behind you, doing spot and stock. That's like, that's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, it was a fail, but I also learned a lot about, like, really myself in that one is like, I need to be a little tougher too, as like when things aren't going your way, like you got to just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. And I feel like we tried pretty hard. Like we were up at first crack of dawn and stayed out all day, every day, and looked hard. It didn't work out. But yeah, it's like, that's one of my things is like, I've always wanted to shoot one with my bow. Still haven't. I'm going to continue to try, but I think that maybe next year we'll burn some points in Wyoming and go to a target-rich environment.
Probably helps.
But yeah, 2024 was an awesome season. It flew by. Like
2023,
yeah. 2023 was just like, it flew by. Like, I feel like we just went on our Idaho elk hunt a couple weeks ago, and that was in September, and here we are. So yeah, it's been a ton of fun. I feel like it's been like pretty dang successful too. Like for the most part, like we had a lot of really good hunts this year. Yeah, that's kind of my spiel.
You want me to go next? Well, you guys think about it some more. I just dropped this on the crew.
Randy was like,
I'm like, get in here. We're doing this. And they're like, oh, okay. So I'll give you, Jace and Kyler, I'll give you guys a little more time to think. For me, 2023, lots of dreams, lots of just fond memories. Like you, Michael, going and hunting the Yukon. It was one of my dream hunts. I got one left, and that kind of gets to 2024. My last dream hunt is the Mackenzie Mountains, and I'll do that in 2024. Hunting with Matthew for 3 trips. We did that last year. We did that this year, and now we're kind of out of points and opportunities to do that. So I don't know what we'll have to manufacture as an opportunity to go hunting together. Probably waterfowl. And then, for me, I turned 59 this year, and you're talking about how quickly things blow past. I felt that when I was 30. But when I'm 59, it's like I fell asleep and season was over when I woke up. It's that crazy. And this year, I had a really serious arm injury in February, and that kind of dominated a lot of my off-season time, physical therapy, trying to stay in shape and other stuff. And it's not. You guys have seen me. You guys took the knife away from me in deer camp because I tried to cut the end of my thumb off. They're like, get out of here, pal. So it still has its complications. And so, 2024 for me is going to be about rededicating to my health, my physical health. We got friends over here across the road at Mountain Tough and Dustin and Weston and all those guys. I've known them for a long time, and you drive a desk for enough years, like I did, 35 years as a CPA, and you just could do better. You could get yourself in better shape. You could do things, and I'm not interested in becoming a gym rat, like some guy who gets in front of the mirror and takes selfies and tells you guys to post them on Instagram. I mean, that'd be an interesting concept.
I feel like we should try it. It's worth a try.
No, but for me, it's just, I'm 1 year away from 60, and I'd always said, I'm going to backpack elk hunt until I'm 65. Well, that's only 6 years away. I don't want to quit in 6 years. So I think I'm going to get a jersey that says 80 on it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You think well, first of all, the male side on my dad's side of the family, none of the guys live into their 70s. So
Really?
yeah, if I live 3 more years, I'll have outlived my dad. And if I live 4 more years, I'll have outlived his dad. So I'm like, man, 80? Yeah, but if I'm going to do that, I can't continue as a status quo. So I don't mean this as a New Year's resolution kind of thing, nothing like that. It's just the realization that the better physical shape I'm in, and if I'm one of those people, I like to have a purpose, and I'm going to carve out, half hour, 45 minutes of every day to just go and do something that is purposefully going to help me. And I don't know what that'll look like. Maybe Dustin and those guys can give me some ideas and thoughts, but besides going to the Mackenzies, that's steep stuff.
Yeah.
So that's also a motivation that's out there to not sit here and drive a desk all winter. So that's probably my dream or goal, whatever you want to call it, for 2024. And I guess we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to hurt, I'd say.
No. I no matter what level of physical condition I'm in, if I improve that physical condition, my hunt is that much more fun.
Yeah.
And
I'd say you get around the mountains way better than any other 59-year-old I've ever seen.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Seriously, I'm huffing and puffing behind him. Just this dude's crushing it.
Randy's a pretty fast hiker.
Yeah. He's got them long legs.
Good. Yeah.
really,
If you haven't met Randy, I think he's taller and wider in person than you think. Because when I first met him, I was like, man, this guy's kind of built like a mule, dude.
it's funny you say that, Kyler, because I just got back from doing the big thing for RMEF down in Vegas this weekend. Half the people who come up to the booth to visit and tell hunting stories look up and they're like, I didn't think you were that tall. I'm like, what the? And when Kim is there, when people say that, she says, what do you do? Squat down when you're on camera? I'm like, I have no idea. I mean, I'm 6'2". Anyhow, it helps to be longer legged. Jace, you're not like some little short legged guy either when you decide that you're going to put your wheels across the landscape there.
I mean, having a little bit of length on the legs helps.
Yeah.
It's so weird though too, because even the short guys crush though too. Marcus crushes. If you look at Dustin Rowe, Adam Foss, those guys, they're pretty small. And they crush. They crush the mountains. Yeah. So
no, part of that for me is when you get older, I think your mental stamina is just so much better than when you were younger. If I had the mental stamina at 30 that I have right now, I could have hiked from here to the Yukon. I wouldn't have needed to take a break. So you mentally just get to where you are and you just go.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, I'm saving you for last, Jace, because Kyler, you spent the last, 2 or 3 years?
It was almost 3 years. It was like 2 years and 9 months on active duty orders with the National Guard in North Carolina.
Yeah,
but just has 0 elk and 0 mule deer and no antelope and no time to go hunting. So for me this year, I'd say one of my accomplishments is just getting hired back onto the show because I was pretty excited about that. I was missing hunting a lot. And then let's see.
You went and helped Marcus and Gara pack out his sheep.
Yeah, right away. I moved back on September 1st, which in Bozeman is it's time to go when it's September 1st.
That might have been your first day of work, was packing sheep out.
I think I was here for a week, but nobody else was in the office. Me and Blake hadn't met before, and then we just did a week together in the office alone. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I moved back September 1st, immediately pulled my bow out and practiced as hard as I could, and then I was so deprived of hunting, I just hunted every single weekend, all hunting season long that I possibly could. I'd say my favorite memory would be deer hunting with my buddy Colton, because the season I left in November of 2020 to go on active duty. We killed his first deer together, and it was super awesome because he had been trying to kill a deer for 5 years, and I got to be there when he killed his first deer. And then he's been hunting since I've been gone and been very successful. So getting to go deer hunting with him this year was super fun. It was cool to see him progress into like a legit hunter. It's awesome. It's good to see. And then, I got a lesson that I learned this year. Probably the biggest lesson I've ever learned as a hunter. I've never killed anything with my bow, nor have I killed an elk. And I shot an elk with 2 arrows this year and didn't recover him. It was one of those situations where it was all perfect for too long, and I tried to make a more perfect shot than I should have. I should have just gone center of the double lung, but instead I tried to put it right behind his shoulder blade and the heart, and I ended up 2 inches to the right, square in the shoulder blade. Had another shot on him at 55 yards, and he jumped the string, and it hit him, up high on the back and didn't hit anything important. He only bled for like 400 yards. But as an archer, solo hunting, I feel like I learned every lesson that an archer probably learns at some point all in one hunt. Yeah. So I was proud of myself for getting a shot on a bull alone because I've never done that before. But at the same time, like I learned that the real hard lesson of like making sure you're dead solid and that you're making the right decisions instead of, going for a kill shot instead of a perfect kill shot is probably the better move every time.
That's hard.
Well,
you learn from that and it tears you up.
I spent the entire rest of the weekend gridding off the entire area looking for something, but I was tracking a speck of blood every like 10 yards, and he just wasn't, he wasn't dying. Not then, at least. But it definitely shows you like your cone of error on your shots is always going to get bigger, and I need to take that into account next time when I'm shooting at a bull. Like, sure, on a target, maybe at 35 yards, I could put it like right in the middle of the circle where I wanted to and get a double lung heart shot, but not on an elk when I'm excited.
Yeah. That's a lesson I think everybody gets somewhere along the way, whether it's rifle hunting, muzzleloader hunting, archery hunting, but what's 2024's plan? Dream, goal, aspiration? Well, you're going to Alaska for the guard, right?
Yep. I'm going to Alaska for a training exercise for 6 weeks, and we're going to the Arctic Circle, so it's going to be cold and dark. We're going soon. I'm going at the beginning of February, so it'll be cold and dark for a little while, and then I got some more schools and other things to go to with the guard, but I'm just excited to be back hunting and skiing, and I'm excited for spring bear. That's on my radar coming up.
Yeah. That won't be long.
Yeah, it'll be here before we know it. That's for sure.
It's only a couple months away, really.
Jace, what was the highlight or the low?
There were a lot of highlights in 2023, a few lowlights, a few learning experiences. Kind of had it all. One thing that I'm pretty grateful for, just being able to film with you guys and do what I do, and with that opportunity, just being able to tag along on your hunts. I got to experience a hunt with you and Matthew that took a lifetime of points to draw on your Utah pronghorn hunt, and it's like that's something I'll probably never. Maybe 20 plus years down the road I could do something like that, but being able to just go on experiences like that, not for myself, but being able to tag along, that's pretty cool to do. Speaking of that hunt, there was a low light, I guess we can call it, or just a really big learning experience I had. Randy might know what I'm going to talk about, but and it's make sure, even if it seems like a layup opportunity 100 yards away from the truck, make sure you bring all your stuff with you, because I brought nothing with me, no backpack, just a camera and a tripod, and I ended up finding myself 8 miles later, sun's going down, I have no gear, I'm running out of SD card space, I have no water, and it ended up being a whole rodeo. But it's like stuff like that, you think it's going to be a little chip shot, and next thing you know, you need. So if you bring your stuff, make sure you pack it with you. That was a funny learning experience. But there was plenty of highlights. I got to do, just filming for the show, a lot of cool stuff. Got to do a couple hunts with people that mean a lot to me. I got to start off the year doing a hunt with my dad. That was kind of a spur of the moment thing. it worked out. So that was a lot of fun. I got to some of my favorite hunts. What's become some of my favorite hunts these last couple of years is hunting with my now soon-to-be wife, Chloe. We go out whenever she can get out on the weekends, and we made the most of those this year, and she took an antelope and a mule deer buck. So those are two of my favorite memories this year. It's just, she's a blast to go out and hike around with. I mean, she gives hunting a whole new perspective to me when I'm out there, because I'm like so focused on like finding the next animal or getting to the next spot to like glass up a buck or something. And she's just finding all these different cool things along the way, picking up rocks. She'll have like 3 big old boulders at the bottom of the path that she wants to take home because she thinks they're so cool. So it's like stuff like that. It means a lot to me, and it's fun. Let's see. One of my funniest moments of this trip, well, it didn't become a funny moment until we got home and we were looking at footage, and it was actually from our recent deer hunt that we all did together. And so I was out hunting with Michael for the day, and it was the day he shot his buck. And maybe this is a low light too, because I missed the shot on camera, and or like filming the deer.
I can't blame
one
him.
job.
I can't blame him.
That's the thing. And typically the hunter, the way, gets set up on the animal, I'm getting on, typically the hunter will be like, hey, you ready? You on him? And to Michael's credit, he did it. But the minute I didn't even get to respond to Michael.
About a half a second.
You ready? And the next split second, the rifle's just banging. In the moment, it was kind of a fluster. And the weird part was, I thought I did hit record, but the button on my phone didn't really take, so it didn't.
Gloves, dude.
Yeah,
gloves and iPhones.
But like watching that video clip back at the office,
you ready?
Was probably the funniest thing ever. So that was.
Yeah, sorry about that,
Michael. Next time you can't say ready and shoot before he says yes or no.
I know. It looked like he was gonna run away though.
Yeah, he took the
but wait a second, guys. How many animals have run away from me? While I'm like, you guys ready?
Not very many.
Oh yeah, plenty of situations. So, but when he's in front of the camera, it's all on you. You just got to be ready.
I thought we were just rolling the whole time, but yeah, sorry about that.
I think it's funny.
I hope the audience thinks it's funny. They had seen that. They'll have watched it by now. So if you guys, sorry about that. I mean.
Yeah, that
happens.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm gonna probably just save that clip on my phone somewhere so I can rewatch it at times. But 2023, heck of a year, went by so fast, and I think that kind of brings me to a goal for 2024: is to somehow find out how to just take in the season and somehow make it feel like it lasted longer, like because. I think what happens is there's so many things on the schedule, whether that's filming for the show or like then having personal hunting plans after I get home from the show, that I'm like, I'll be on one trip and I'm thinking of what's going to happen next. So I think a big goal of mine is just to soak up the moment where I'm at that time. Because we get the fortunate opportunity to go to some cool places, and that's my favorite part of doing what I do. So just being able to embrace the moment and try to, hopefully that'll make things last a little longer, I think, rather than always just thinking of what's ahead. So that's what 2024 outlook. And
nice.
Cheers to an awesome year. It was a lot of fun.
I appreciate all your hard work. I wish Marcus was here so we could thank him for all his hard work, and Kara and Blake and David and everybody who's part of it. I feel that we're blessed.
Oh yeah.
To live where we do, get to do what we do, and try to give voice to the things that we really care a lot about. Conservation, access, all the hunting, all that stuff. So I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thanks
so much. And maybe this time next year we'll turn this on and we'll say, did we accomplish any of the 2024 things we said we'd hope for?
Yeah.
I'm going to stay away from the ice cream now. But anyhow, folks, thanks so much for all your support. Appreciate you all listening, following along. Hopefully you have a wonderful Christmas, and cheers to a great 2024.